Om Sitamakaranishanam Shubhravastram Trinetram Karadita Kalashodhrit Sotphala Bhityabhishtam Vidhi Harihara Rupam Setukoti Rajushtam Kalita Situdukulham Janhavim Tam Namami Namami Gange Tava Pada Pankajam Sura Surair Vandita Divya Rupam Bhuktim Cha Muktim Cha Dadasi Nityam Bhavanusarena Sada Naranam Jai Jai Gange Jaya Har Gange Jai Jai Gange Jaya Har Gange Jaya Jaya Gange Jaya Har Gange Jai Jai Gange Jaya Har Gange Jaya Jaya Gange Jaya Har Gange Jai Jai Gange Jaya Har Gange Jaya Jaya Gange Jaya Har Gange Jai Jai Gange Jaya Har Gange Om. Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the classical Sanskritam language, there is a word, Srishti. The word is Srishti. S-R-S-T-I. With the right English transliteration, Srishti. Srishti means, Srij means to create. Srishti refers to creation. Alright? Creation means the world we are born into. And if you look into this Srishti, we are born into a world which is our provider. We come with a stomach, an empty one, and we are born into this world wanting food. Food is provided. We come with a thirst. We don't carry gallons of water. Poor mom, if she had to fill her stomach with, what you require, she could barely manage the weight of the baby. And so it's provided. That's creation. It provides. The sun, it provides. The life giver. The oxygen. The space. The air. The warmth. The fire. All provided. This is called creation. We are born into this world. Right? Born into this world. And so we perceive this world in which we are born. We relate to the world, and the world has its realities which matches our need. It's a resource to fulfill our need and maybe something else, but as we are born as babies, it fulfills our needs. That's all we know. That's the creation, right? We also have another creation we are born into. And the second creation is a subjective reality. What is the external world is the objective reality. We call this Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara is the divine, the creation of the divine, divinity, and Jiva Srishti is the creation of the individual, me. I have my own things I see, the subjective reality, what you call. When the objective reality and the subjective reality are in sync, when my reality, when I experience internally what is out there, then we are in sync, no? When I distort what is out there, somebody points out a mistake in my work at the workplace. He sees something and wants to correct me, but I see that he's exposing my faults. That's distortion. My perception distorts what is out there. Right? They call this neurosis. Or I project out there this family member is going to poison me. They've invited us for dinner and they're going to poison. They're not to be trusted. Where you project something which is totally not true out there, you call it psychosis. What I think and what is out there, really there, don't match. There is no alignment. When this happens, then which world will I find myself living in? the objective world in which I am born, or my own subjective world that I experience? Which is the world that we experience? We experience both. Which is the world we predominantly experience? Both. I beg to differ. Because I believe you only see what you see. You don't see what you don't see, whether it is there or not. That's how we fall in potholes, you know. External world has things which are very obvious, but nothing is obvious because we only see our own thoughts. The way I see this flower, is it exactly the way you see? How are we going to substantiate whether we see, is there an objective reality we are seeing, or we are seeing with our own coloration? How are you going to substantiate? And so we are born into the world in which we are living with these two realities, the external and the internal, no? Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti, two words. Is my perception of the world psychotic, neurotic, or aligned, in touch with what is? I see what is. I see what is. It is, therefore I see. Or I see, therefore it is. As we grow up, in our growth is physical. Physically we grow, become an adult. Cognitively we are supported with education to see the world as it is, no? As it is, to understand nature as it is, through different disciplines of knowledge. We are told, even though you don't see those membranes on the leaf, they have the membranes, they have the cellular structure and all. You don't see, but you're told, learn botany and you will understand. Learn biology, learn chemistry, learn this, learn that. And we have so many disciplines of knowledge to teach us the world. And we learn. We learn to understand what is out there through education. And we grow. That's called cognitive growth. But we have one more growth that needs to take place, and that's called emotional growth. Which school do you go to for emotional growth? Which university? Ammaji, we don't need to go anywhere. Our emotions are nurtured at home, with a family, with the family in ways where we know that when we need something, it will be provided. And so a child learns a very silent language of trusting the external reality. These gods, big giants called my dad and my mom, they are what? Great providers. All I have to do is cry and food appears. Sometimes diapers get changed. Sometimes, of course, there is mix-up also. When I cry for food, diapers get changed. When diapers should be changed, I am pushed into eating. Sometimes something goes wrong, but generally, I, I get my needs fulfilled. And when I get my needs fulfilled, I trust the external world, the objective reality, the Ishvara Srishti. I know that it will be there for me, it will provide for me. These infallible giants called dad and mom, they are my protectors, they are all knowledge. They are knowers, they know everything. When I cannot even stand, they can walk, they can run. They are powerful. Think of it from a baby's perspective, how you appear. In one hand, you lift the whole body. And baby thinks, I can trust you. I can leave myself totally in your care, under your care. My caretakers are wonderful. And so, the more you trust the environment, the less you need to, imagine or project, or distort, because the environment responds to you. And you cultivate a mind which is connected to the external, which aligns in sync, more or less. More or less. Of course, it's all more or less. But if my external environment doesn't respond to me, if in my young years, when I was helpless, I needed something and it wasn't given, or the opposite was given, very quickly, I lose trust in the environment. I lose trust in my caretakers. These giants are not trustworthy. And such memories are blocked by nature because you are too tiny to absorb them, handle them. And then begins psychosis and neurosis. Then begins the distortions of what is. As compensating, the mind distorts, to compensate, to protect itself. And so it's a protective mechanism. Defensive mechanisms are protective mechanisms. But then more I find myself in such situations. Then when I become an adult, I have no connect with the external. I live more in Jiva Srishti and less in Ishvara Srishti. And so the emotional growth is a very, very significant, tender process of a child to grow up in trust and love and in a loving environment. Why? Because when that's available, from the parents, from the siblings, from the grandparents, from the uncles and aunts and other adults. Then the child grows up trusting. In fact, we say, it takes an entire village to raise a child. In India, we say that. When the kid is growing up, he needs all his freedom to run about. And a mom cannot be chasing this child all over the place. But in the Indian village, no problem. He can enter any home. Some dad, some mom will be there. Some brothers, cousins, somebody will be there. Some grandparent will be there. If this kid goes too far playing, even before he returns home, the news would have reached. Your kid had gone here. He went to that shop. He bought this sweet. All news reaches home even before, because before the kid cannot escape. There are so many families looking out for you. Don't think it's all positive. There are a lot of gossips also, but that's a part of the package. When they care for you, they gossip about you. If they didn't care for you, they won't gossip about you. And so, growing up takes, because the human range is so wide, vast, because we are self-awareful beings, and we are constantly given this powers we carry to make choices. We have the faculty to choose. We always need to choose in manner where we align with the external reality. Which reality? The external world, which is harmonious, beautiful, where there is sunshine, where there is green, there is growth, the birds fly, the sun rises, God's world, the divine world. And therefore, for me to grow into that, emotionally grow into that, now I have grown as a physical adult, then I will grow as a cognitive adult. I will also need to become a emotional adult. But you find in life, people are physically adult, 6 foot tall, a smart, young, handsome man, and you think he'll be like your dad, a big protector, a secure person, and begin to talk to him one weekend out with him, and you realize he never grew emotionally beyond 16. He just is a flamboyant, handsome man. What you thought might become your Mr. Right now turns out to be what? Mr. Wrong. You want to get out of this relationship immediately? Why? Because physical adult, well educated, cognitively bright, but emotionally a wreck. So just because one is cognitively smart doesn't mean they are emotionally mature. If a person is emotionally mature, emotionally an adult, need not be cognitively brilliant either. Understand? And so what does it take to become emotionally mature? What is emotional maturity? Does it stop like physical adulthood stops at the age of 18, 17, 18? Mom tells you, this is all your height's going to be, son. You're not going to grow any taller. You've crossed the age. Oh, so there is a physical Time after which you don't grow taller. You only grow broader, you know. For growing broad, there is no stopping. Any age you can keep expanding, you know. It's your decision. But emotional maturity, I mean, cognitive maturity also, cognitive growth is also more or less, we say, okay, I have focused enough in education. Now let me do other things, you know, in life. You get your degree and then you want to move on, find a job and find a partner and live your life. But emotional maturity seems to be a lifelong journey. It's a journey that never stops. What is this journey? When do I become emotionally mature? How do I balance? How do I understand? What are my parameters of understanding? Cognitive maturity. Once I got my certificate, I knew this is the paper that is accepted for cognitive adulthood. Now I have a degree and so on. I have a paper to show. Which document you have to show you are emotionally mature? Which yoga credit course gives you a document that you are now emotionally mature? Eh? Or which university provides you such a degree? The university is called one university we all have. That's a life university. It's a life lived consciously. A life lived becoming aware of the choices we make. A life lived recognizing one's own emotions. The world of feelings. The world of inner perceptions. The world of inner likes and dislikes. The world of inner wants and needs and greeds and ambitions and passions. The inner world, the more we are aware of, what drives us to do what we do, why we do, when we do, and so on. It is this inner world of emotions that we are given a body that we are aware of. We are self-aware, is it not? We are self-aware. The self-awareful person that I am, and uniquely I have been given this faculty of choice. I make my choices. I'm aware of my greed and I make my choice. What? To go to the market and hog every item available that caters to the tongue. When greed comes, the tongue becomes active. Yeah, let's go to the marketplace. Let's go to the donut shop. After the donut, the pizza place. Once the pizza is done, of course, the ice cream is waiting. And ice cream can never be concluded without a chocolate, bar and so on. And you keep on going. Why? Because the tongue has become overactive over the weekend. The greed has come on the tongue. The greed has come for the eyes. The greed has come for the touch. The greed has come for so much. So much I seek. There's so much I want to fulfill. And so I make my choices. Why? Why do you have to do that? Well, because, I enjoy. It makes me happy. It's a need. Is it a need or is it a greed? I don't want to think about it. I just want to go and enjoy. Summer is here, I want to enjoy. So we create our definitions of enjoyment. What are my definitions of enjoyment? I also say enjoy, please enjoy. But what's your definition of what it takes to enjoy? People go on holidays and fight cats and dogs and come back. Paying the hotel bills, big fat hotel bill, no? What is my definition of enjoyment? My definition of enjoyment has been sense pleasures. To keep my senses happy. If my senses are happy, I'm happy. Really? Think about it. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhake Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.